Meet Dr. Smile, a celebrity dentist renowned for his expertise in biomimetic and digital dentistry. Dr. Smile is not just a cosmetic dentist, but a visionary crafting smiles that reflect true artistry. Beyond the clinic, Dr. Smile is a pioneer in custom diamond and gold grillz, bringing a unique flair to dental aesthetics. Join us as we go inside the world of Dr. Smile, the man with many talents and the one who redefines smiles.
First podcast. I'm so glad it's with you.
Thank you, bro.
I've done many interviews. I've not done any podcasts.
I love that, bro.
I love that also.
An honor.
Yeah, I think it's a blessing for me.
Bro, so tell me, if we are watching your Netflix documentary, right?
Yes,
so we're watching the movie of Dr. Smile.
Is it 3 parts or 1 part? It makes it different.
However it is, how do you see your story begin? You know, you can start from whether it's family.
Yeah.
Where does your story of how
first
this
thing
becomes?
that comes to my head is parents, mom and pops, making the decision of why they came to South Africa and where they lived in South Africa.
Yeah.
The primary purpose and the foundation that they set.
Yeah.
I think that makes a huge difference. It applies to you also.
100%.
Like why my parents came here.
Yeah.
What climate, especially socioeconomically, politically, they had kids in, and what we learned and how we grew. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Overarching story is that my parents are all about service to humanity.
Yeah.
My mom has now passed away, almost 10 years this year. Pops is still going strong. Thank you. But they're all about service to humanity, how they use their talents, their resources, their abilities, their education, their privileges, their strengths to uplift others. They're about this like mindset. And this is important to know. My parents didn't get married and meet here. They chose to come to South Africa.
Oh, crazy.
My mom and dad were both born in Iran.
Yeah.
They had to leave. My mom, when she was like 7, moved to the UK and grew up mainly in the UK, London side.
Okay.
My dad went from Iran to Kenya, then grew up in Kenya, did his high school and everything there.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, crazy. And then Pops moved to the UK to do his university. Mom was there doing university, and they met because they were both on volunteer community development organizations. And they had kept in touch because my dad went to volunteer to help a community in some area that my mom was put in charge of to make sure that anyone going there to help the community is okay and do they need anything. And that's how they met. That's how they spoke. Right? So again, the whole premise of how they even met, let alone married, was that they're doing this in service to humanity.
Wow.
This stuff is they're not doing this. They're not being paid to do any of this. This is not their job. This is just their life.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they met, they did their thing, they got married in the UK.
Yeah.
And this is now, they got married in 84. They got married in 84. Think of that within the context of where South Africa
100%.
was, right? Yeah. Politically.
Yes.
Socioeconomically. Again, we, in terms of like our foundation of religion or faith, I'm a Bahai.
Yes.
And the Bahai faith teaches the importance of equality, of unity, especially racially. There's only one race, human race.
Yes.
It's fact. Like, you want to argue it, come sit 100%. With me and let's discuss it, you know? But the Bahai faith is all about unity and equality, gender equality, racial unity, religious unity.
And for people who don't know, maybe just like a quick summary on Bahai as well. Just,
right.
I mean, it's a newer religion.
Yeah, so it's one of the newest religions. It's only 182 years old. It's very young. It is the most recent of God's revealed religions. And when I put it in that context, we know from the time of Abraham, we have history of. So we know about Abraham, we know about Krishna, we know about Buddha, we know about Zoroaster, we know about Moses, we know about Jesus Christ, we know about Prophet Muhammad, we know about Baha'u'llah and the Bab, who brought the Baha'i faith. These are religions which we have history on, divine religions that have come down with holy books, with teachings that have helped the world get to from where it was to where it's planning to go.
100%.
And so Baha'is believe that all these religions have been sent by one God. So you can say God, you can say Allah, you can say Modimu, you can say Nkulunkulu, you can say Tiko, you can say whatever you actually want. You can say the universe, you can say an energy. I really don't mind. In the Baha'i opinion, that is all one thing. One supreme creator. And then we are all human beings, so God's creations. And because we are all God's creations, we are all equal. So it doesn't actually matter what color your skin is and where you grew up and what language you speak. And we are all equal in that plane. We are not equal in what we look like. We're not equal in the capacity, certain areas of intellect, not because we weren't given the capacity to, but it hasn't been allowed to develop. We are not equal in where we live or the languages we speak. Those things are different. And those are all beautiful. But we are equal because we're all created equal.
100%. I mean, this is something I can also sit and talk about forever. It's like I just I fight with people all the time where I'm like, human beings, DNA, regardless of your color. Like, you look at different species on our planet. It's like the slightest difference in the species, their DNA is almost so different. Whereas like humans, we have the exact same almost DNA.
And people will more and more be forced to realize that we have always been equal. You just it's like the world was flat until it's proven.
100%.
So now it's proven. Now there's still people saying the world is flat.
100%. So bro, take me back, to your parents now. So the Bahai.
So Baha'i faith, this is their foundation, and so they're all about let's help the world unite. Let's help people realize they're equal. And where was one of the most disunited places in the world and unequal societies in the world? South Africa.
Wow. Okay, so they were already believers or followers of Bahai. What's the right
I'm like, Baha'is. You just say Baha'is. They were already.
And that time already.
So I'm like 7th generation.
Wow.
So parents. So they were already Baha'is. Their parents were Baha'is. And other parents were Baha'is. But remember, the Baha'i faith, because it only started in 1844. So if you look at that, now we're coming to like 200 years of not 200 years, but as I said, 180. But the point is, it's sub 200 years. So from when the Baha'i faith started, imagine like it being so recent that you say, when Christianity started, my great-great-grandfather was one of the first. Okay, it's like that because it's so new. It's old, but it's new. And in 1,000 years, then the world will look back and say, when the Baha'i faith started at that time, this is how it's going to be. Until. So they were Baha'is. They already had this foundation and understanding, and they chose to come to South Africa so that they can really participate in bringing about the upliftment, unity, equality of this dark place in the world. And so they came here. And even when they moved here, they didn't go stay in the burbs. They went to stay in Mutuklung, in the township there behind Brits.
Crazy.
So they need to be within a space that is not separated from the reality of the majority.
Wow. It's powerful.
So they grew up like that, and then kids happened. And so kids happened, and we obviously grew up with a beautiful example from our parents of their time constantly being used for classes, development classes, meetings that help with bringing about unity. My mom, for example, she had a master's in child psychology from the UK. Right? She just came to South Africa and did volunteer work her whole life. She worked with the presidency on the Diversity Trust, like the Desmond Tutu Diversity Trust. She was like the chairman of the National Religious Leaders Organization with the presidency. She was a chairman. She was the only female. All the representatives of all the religions were male. Then there's my mom. gender equality, racial equality, unity, and the example of it. She used so much of her time just in volunteer spaces to help do this. No focus on income, and no focus on, and that doesn't mean we were wealthy and then she had no focus on income. We weren't wealthy and they had no focus on income. Wow. So this is a beautiful example for us.
Yeah.
Hence why I grew up with this example of, if I'm not using my time to do things that contribute to the betterment of others, it's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
I can't make this call for other people and what they do with their time. Just me. I'm just speaking about me.
Yeah. And I love that you start there because, it speaks volumes to who you are today and, and the work that you do. And so tell me, it's yourself, your sister?
Older sister, younger brother.
Younger brother.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. And all very much with that mindset in our own unique ways.
Yes.
And similar ways. There's a lot that overlaps. And because we're all three unique individuals, we do things differently also.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so how do you go from, where does the first, moment come in that potentially you might go into dentistry? What's that? Was there a moment? Was it something your parents, because my mom would always say to me, she's like, when you grow up, you must become a dentist because things don't freak you out. And I was always like, mom, I don't know if it's for me.
All right. So my parents never once told me what to do.
Wow.
In terms of a profession. And normally with Middle Eastern...
Mom, I hope you're watching. Mom.
Middle Eastern, you must become a doctor, engineer, 100%. Dentist, a lawyer, it's like that. You can choose any profession from these professions, It's always been like that.
Yes.
And I think the history of that must be because our parents were in such erratic times that those were stable. You could work anywhere. People would always need that.
Yes.
I think it's like that.
Yeah, it is that. 100%.
Can't speak about, I'm going to have a podcast and be a music producer. And people are going to be like,
it's a flex. They just want to flex their friends. Like, George is an engineer. He's doing his thing.
It's funny because my sister's a lawyer, my brother's an engineer, and I'm a dentist. It's funny, but none of us were ever pushed to that.
Yes.
But this is what happened. I mean, people may not know, you guys may not know, but I know George from 2000. 2000. I know George from... when I was in matric, I know you from 2004. So this is 20 years.
Been 20 years. Friendship.
20 years. All right, so I've known you since 20 years. We met in high school.
Yeah.
Throughout high school, I knew what I was good at.
Which was?
Within a school setting.
Yeah, which was?
I was very good at biology. I was very good at physiology, which I took as an extra subject in matric. So I had a bit of capacity at that time to push myself extra. I don't know how many people in Allen were taking an extra subject in matric. Let me just get out, bro. I never got time for extra. So I took physiology as an extra subject, which is now all focused on the body and the functioning of the body. Did biology, and I was very good at art. I knew I was good at these things.
Yeah.
Everything else in between, the English, the Afrikaans, the maths, I managed.
Yeah.
But those areas I was strong at, very naturally. It didn't take much work.
Yeah.
Even in primary school, those similar areas.
Another thing, you were selling clothes in school, if I'm not mistaken.
I was.
And you always looked super fresh, and you're always my brother also worked at a clothing store that time. It's Alex will come in, buy some pieces, and then I'll see him resell it in school for
I was that guy in school.
I think it's also important to touch on.
I used to have 2 carry moors, one for my books and one for my stock. So I used to sell. By the time I got closer towards matric, I was really coming up in terms of what I was selling. I was selling Rockaway velour tracksuits.
Yeah, I remember.
I was selling Timbs.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was dope. I was always in that
crazy
space.
Sneakers you're already picking up, and
I think
this is also something you were good at and known for in school. And something
it's funny. It's again how I grew up.
Yeah.
Materially.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot. Because we didn't have a lot, my parents always encouraged me to make a plan, to figure it out.
Yeah.
And this make a plan, figure it out. Okay, this is how I figured it out.
Yeah.
And from young, primary school and in high school, until I started making my own money, my school clothes every year, I'd get secondhand school clothes.
Yeah.
I didn't get new school clothes. We went to the second hand there. Swap shop, exactly.
Terrible, man.
I was like, hey, we need to look through the bag of socks so I can get socks where the elastics are still fresh. You know, not those others like that.
Hey, when the elastics are gone, oh, it's over, my brother. Yo. Wow.
It was like, now when you got a fresh pair of socks, the elastics are still good. You're strong. You can go to school happy. Amazing. Anyway, so I was in that type of a space.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, like coming from primary school to high school, I love sports. I played cricket, soccer, hockey, volleyball, long distance running. And I was always in like first team for the sports, like from young. But I never had the latest equipment. Never. Everyone come rocking game day with like a new pair of these soccer boots and the new Predators and I was like, Then my parents like, here, you get it like, for cricket, like everyone's got like Adidas or Grey Nichols cricket shoes or Nike cricket shoes, and me, I'm coming with like Tommy Takis that slip also. They slip. Everyone's got spikes under theirs. I just got like a base, and I'm like, guys, come on, a little bit of something, Yana. But I didn't get that, so they give me the Tommy Takis, and then I go and find like a Koki in the house, and I draw on a Nike tick. It's like that, or new soccer boots. Everyone would go to like I don't know some Total Sports or something, and get something dope. And then I'd go to like Trade Center. My dad would say, Trade Center, sales section. That special metal table that had like the discounts. Yeah. It's like that vibe, no? But this is like also Middle Eastern parents.
Yeah.
You don't waste.
Yeah.
You don't waste at 100%. All. Even if we had you don't waste. So now I need like a size 6. And it's like, nah, I shop a size 7. It's good for next year also. Don't get soccer boots. Actually get rugby boots because they protect your ankles. I'm like, no, Pops, that's not the vibe. So there was a lot of this.
And you're also big on customizing your clothes.
Yes, correct. But this is why I got to customizing everything because of that phase of my life.
Yes.
I started learning. Finally got me these on with ankles. I cut them off. I did this, I did that, I added this, I did it. And you start understanding your ability to create your environment, your ideal. Even when I was a skater. Like everyone, like I wanted a whatever skating Osiris tee or whatever it was. And I couldn't buy it for 300 because my parents said, you can't go buy a 300 rand t-shirt when this person right down the road or in your school or here next door can only afford a 20 rand t-shirt or doesn't even have food. You can't do that.
Wow.
So they taught me that. So then they say, Shop, here's a 10 rand t-shirt from Pick n Pay. Here's some paint. Good luck. Then I started making, now I had like every brand I wanted because I just made them. People are like, Joe, where'd you buy that? I was like, let me tell you something. And then I started making, I started selling. I started making, I started selling. I started getting really good at copying.
Yeah.
It's almost like a Catch Me If You Can story. I was really good at copying things.
Yeah.
I was good at detail.
Yeah.
And this is where it came from. So by the time I got to end of high school, I was in my head like thrifty entrepreneur vibe.
Yes.
And I was good with my hands. And I can make a plan and what.
And you were good at the certain subjects that sort of made sense.
So good at those. And my brain can work. Like I can work hard. So
while we're there on matric, I mean, do you remember you took me, your sister?
I remember meeting. I even know the whole story.
Yeah. To my first gig.
I remember all of this. I'll tell it. I'm going to tell all of you guys what happened. Okay, so this is the story. I was in matric. I was a prefect, and getting everyone, I don't know, after break or whatever it be, kids are chilling on the grandstands. They're not going to class. So I'm coming to check who's smoking, who's doing their thing. And then I see this group of grade 8s. They're sitting on the grandstand. I'm like, come guys, time for class. Let's go. And then I see this one boy busy beatboxing there. And I was very much, especially because of the clothes I was selling and the culture that I was in and the friends that I had, very much into hip-hop. And that time of hip-hop for me was like Fabulous. That was Nelly. That was Busta.
Yeah.
That was Chingy.
Yeah.
It was like that time.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Still love it.
Yeah.
And so I see this boy beatboxing, but he's good. He's not just like everyone else is trying to like, not like this. He was good. I was like, So you see this boy and he's new. Like we don't know him in the school yet. And I think the next day was assembly. I don't know what day it was, but this is what I remember in my
Valentine's
head.
Day.
Okay.
So it was like when they're auctioning people on stage.
So it was a big day, like the next day or whatever. So I spoke to like the prefects and organizers said, we need to get this guy on stage. This school's going to go mad. Now here's George. He's just more introverted, not so from what I saw out there, just a bit more like keeping to himself and his people, you know? Like now almost.
Yeah.
Still the same elements with some spice. And then anyway, so George goes on stage. He starts, and now our school was mostly colored, then some white, then some black, but like definitely like colored community and culture ruled the school.
Very mixed, very mixed.
It was mixed, but I think what culture dominated,
100%.
That's it.
100%.
So the white kids in there, you still tend towards colored.
100%.
I started, like, that's where so much of my accent came from.
Yes.
I started carrying like a mini thing of like Dawn rose cream in my blazer for the girls. I would have a thing to shine my shoes.
Did you ever own a pair of Cavellas?
100%. But I had Cavellas, but then I upgraded whenever I went overseas to like brands that people were like, where'd you get that?
Yeah.
It's up
crazy.
from. Anyway, so all of this culture came in. So you must now imagine here comes this shy white boy on stage. And everyone's like, oh, who's this guy? What's he going to do? Now he starts like, if your mother, oh. And people are like, what's he doing? Like, it just sounds like he's making some funny sounds. And he goes, okay. And then he does this thing. Then he comes with the spice, and he obviously does everything together, which was the whole, the whole big bang of that routine. And the school went mad. The school's never just shouted like that for someone on stage.
Making me blush, bro.
I remember that moment, bro. I remember so much. I'm getting goosebumps.
Crazy.
Because I remember watching it. I'm like, oh my God. Like people, and then George just goes like this now, popularity in school. Like everyone's like, George. Then my sister was in university. I was in matric. So now the university space and the hip hop culture and the gigs and the this and the that. She knew this person. It was one of Teebs. Everyone knows Teebs, aka Teebs.
Yeah,
rest in peace, Teebs.
Yeah. I mean, you blew my mind when you told me that event was one of Tibbs' parties.
So Teebs started with Show Love.
Yeah.
And he started all the on-campus parties. This is where Show Love started. It started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So I was one of Teebs' parties. So she spoke to Teebs, no, I know this boy and this and that. And my brother said this and la 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 la. So then we took George to his first.
That was such an important moment because I mean that night, I met ProKid. Also, rest in peace. That night I met ProKid in like a cipher. I was beatboxing, he was rapping. He's like, "Hey man, I love the way you do this. Like, we need to do this more often." And that's the first time I met ProKid. Like,
crazy.
Imagine that.
Crazy.
That's before he dropped his first album and went crazy. Yeah.
So that happened, and then I think you just caught fire and just went,
Yeah, it was a slow, like after that it was just moments and moments and moments up until I got to basically matric. So bro, back to you. So now you matriculate.
So we were saying matriculated. Now I matriculated. I got top art award at high school. I got distinctions in biology, physiology, I think I got 4 distinctions, but I can't remember what's the other one, science or whatever. Yeah. And I still didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was like, am I going to go into an art profession, a medical profession, business, advertising? Yeah. I was very much involved in like the advertising space because I was on this junior board of directors of this like marketing agency. This is before social media, right? So these people were like we were involved in big media events as like young board of directors. I was very much in the space of, I'm good with marketing. I'm good with advertising. I know how to present myself. I know how to network. So I was good in all these spaces. Or I enjoyed all these spaces. And then so I still didn't know what to study. So one thing that we were encouraged to do by our parents, and a lot of Baha'is around the world do if they can, is after high school, before university, go and give a year of their time in service to humanity in some way. If you can, and it's like colloquially known as a year of service. It's not 4 Baha'is or 2 Baha'is. It's just go into your community and you're going to use that year to develop yourself and figure out your life and your direction by helping others in whatever way you can.
So in service, basically, that year.
Yeah,
I love that.
Correct. So what did I do? I went to Greece for the year. Okay, but not Greece like Mykonos, Greece. I went into city center of Athens and I worked with an NGO called Yatri to Cosmou, which means Doctors of the World.
Yeah.
My aunt and uncle live in Greece, so they knew this and they thought it was a good idea. And why? Because it's very different to South Africa. Greece and Athens at that time, especially, was the door to Europe for refugees. So refugees coming from Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, would all come through Greece like bottleneck to try to get to Europe for a better life.
Got you.
So there's really, like, in South Africa at that time, we didn't really understand refugees. Not like, refugees. Now we have a lot of refugees from Zim and we understand the reality more. At that time, it wasn't like that. We just have a lot of socioeconomic disparity in South Africa. Right? A lot of extremes of wealth and poverty, but don't have refugees. Don't have, we've been cast out of we have the reality of so many South Africans were taken away from their homes and put into different areas because of apartheid. That's technically refugees, you know, within your same country, but not kicked out of your country, foreign language, foreign place, foreign this, foreign that, just because of. So I basically went there, and for the year, I was helping doctors, psychologists, social workers, nurses, help treat refugees. Okay. I was working with a lot of drug addicts and prostitutes, helping doing needle exchanges in like 2-3 a.m. in the city. Imagine going to the city center of Jozi. There in the dark Jozi, no? You're going with a little van and all the drug addicts and prostitutes in the time are coming to you in the middle of the night, bringing all their like old needles to get clean needles, because this is how we stopped spread of infection. You can't. They're going to be taking drugs, but how do you at least have one step of intervention other than rehab to be able to stop? Now, I was doing this as a 17, 18-year-old, right?
Crazy.
I was helping in surgeries. And then what is a big eye-opener for me was I was helping the social workers and the psychiatrists translate for the Persian and Afghani refugees.
Okay, wow.
Because no one there knew anything close to Farsi, and I know Farsi. Not well, because I was born and bred in South Africa, not Iran, but I could still understand. And I started learning more because I needed to help. So now I'm busy translating for families who, here's a father and mother and 3 kids, and we were taken out of our country, and my wife was raped, and this happened, and this pushed, and we don't know where to go, and we don't know what to do. This is hectic to see for a 17, 18-year-old. Yeah. So basically that whole year was eye-opening. And it's eye-opening in helping people whose situations are far worse than yours are. And it helps put your life into perspective and then understand how you should use your time. So from that year, my decision was, okay, I know I need to use my time in following a career path where I can figure out how to help people. Cool? Gotcha. And the only thing my parents said to me is, you must go and do something that you can combine whatever talents you think you have with service to humanity. That's it. They didn't say this career or this career or this career. They never did that. And the only condition they said is once you start it, you must finish it. Don't stop middle. Right? That's all they said. So I think only 2 weeks before applications closed, I think normally apply in like July or August or something for university. 2 weeks before I had only applied. I didn't even know, up to even a month before, I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to study.
Okay.
And then I met my aunt's dentist. She, like everyone, like my aunt, and I was telling everyone, like, yeah, he's trying to figure out what he should do. He's good at this and good at this and good at this. And she's like, she just said something simple to me. She's like, well, if you're good with your hands, because I knew I was good with my hands in detail. She's like, why don't you do dentistry? It's like that. It's not like I grew up being like, I love teeth and I want to make people smile. And no, nothing. Nothing. It's like, simple. Oh, you good with your hands?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. And you like to help people, yes? I'm like, yes. She's like, well, do dentistry. Everyone needs help with dentistry. And you need to be good with your hand. You need to like helping people. And
you just applied.
And I was like, oh, wait. Like, it's not a bad idea. I thought back to my dentist visits, and I was like, okay, it's not bad. But I didn't know about dentistry.
Yes.
I knew about humanity and service. That's what I knew about. And so I applied. And your boy got in. And then the history is from there. When I started, first year, I go to school, and I remember the prof was like, so we had small classes of like 40 people.
Yeah.
The prof was like, welcome everyone. Da, 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 da. She did a bit of an intro, and then she's like, who of you guys did art at high school? I was like,
only one.
One in the whole class, boy. One in the, everyone else like multiple distinctions in maths and science and this, that. Me, I didn't get distinction in maths, but it was hard for me. But I worked hard, but I didn't get a distinction.
Wow.
I got a D in maths. Right?
Yeah.
But she's like, who did art at high school? She says, and she, like being a lecturer now, so I'm in my 10th year of teaching at Wits also.
Yeah.
Retrospectively, she shouldn't have said what she said in the way she said it.
Yes.
Because she said, the rest of you guys shouldn't be doing dentistry if you don't like art.
Oh, wow.
Okay?
Yes.
Because it's more discouraging to
yeah,
students, but it worked for me, boy. It gave me a whole injection. I was like,
let's go.
Right.
Drake.
Anyway, so from that time, dentistry is a lot of practical and a lot of theory. You still have to be really smart or be able to work hard.
Yeah.
And then we go with your hands, but every year, boy, all the way through 5th year, I got top in my class. Top.
Wow.
And because I was really good with practical. And throughout the years, I started understanding like, okay, why I'm good for this profession. Not just because of hands or because of this, but as soon as we started treating real patients, which was from 3rd year.
3rd year, okay.
Right? Because in the first 2 years, it's pre-clinical. You're learning on like dummies and fake teeth and fake patients and this and that, how to hold your hand and how to drill and how to do things in detail and this and that. So that when you start working on a real patient under supervision, you are capable already.
Yeah.
Right? And these are the subjects that I teach now.
Yeah.
By the time I got to treating patients, I understood having this like foundation of service and compassion and sympathy that comes from, in my opinion, so much of the Bahai teachings. Patient care is thus so important. How do you greet someone? I remember like we'd go in on like a practical round. So they took all of the first years into the clinics to show us, okay, this is where patients are treated. And these are government patients.
Yes.
And we'll come to government hospital.
Yeah.
So how patients are treated, this, that. So they took us past this thing. And the prof is like there, and it's like, yes, here's this patient. They're busy getting this done, this done, this done. And in my head, I'm like, you don't want to greet the patient, guys? I'm going to say hello. This poor patient's scared. Yeah, now all these people are watching him in white coats. And then the prof just moved on. And then I stayed behind. I'm like, hi, how are you? Sorry that we did that. We're just learning. But it's interesting because it doesn't mean that any of the other students didn't feel like that.
Yeah.
It means none of the other students felt it was okay to break the mold and go and do that.
Yes.
And me, I don't care about the mold. I'm not like a mold guy.
Yeah.
So, and if I were to get in trouble for something like that, it's okay. I want to get in trouble for something like that, then I feel proud to get in trouble for something like that. They're not.
The only time Dr. Smile molds when he's slutting your new pair of grills.
New grills. Wow. So I started realizing, okay,
That's
what is
beautiful.
Lacking in these spaces,
Yeah.
right? And this comes to me naturally, so it's good. And then I continued like that. And I graduated and I got the top awards in dentistry in that year. And I started working and I started doing dentistry a bit differently. And I'm going to let you ask me the next question and then I can keep talking. It's my own show.
Okay, beautiful. So now, during this time, right, let's say the 3 years until you're getting to the practical, you know, you are always at the parties, you're always at pop bottles, you're always at the events, you're always at like, you're always being, are you still doing any of the other customization stuff, selling stuff? Are you still doing some stuff there outside of the dentistry at this point?
Yes, 100%. So I am a very sociable person.
Yeah.
And I love energy and high energy. And so, yes, I was at every party I could be in, every event I could be. And I really enjoyed that space.
Yeah.
Meeting people, different energies, different spaces. I love it. Like Josie is great for that.
Yes.
And so, I mean, it's always interesting because, so people may not know, but as a Bahai, I don't drink alcohol. I never have drank alcohol.
Yes.
So, and I've never taken drugs and don't take drugs. And I was at all these parties. And so there's always rumors like at varsity, like, yo, Lex, he must be on like 10,000 different drugs. He's always got so much energy. He's always at every party. And then in the morning, he's still at university. And then he's doing this. And then on the weekends, he's still there with the kids after a night out. And I'm like, no, guys, I'm not taking anything. I just don't have babalas. And I can compromise on sleep a little bit. And I'm good.
Yeah.
You know? Always lots of rumors within university. Again, as a Bahai, I didn't have sex before marriage. But I was apparently slept with every girl in the whole of university.
And this is the reality of, like before, and this is even times before social media, and this is how these things will get around. And
so that's funny, but that's okay. It's okay. Whatever. It doesn't make a difference.
That's your reality, to anybody else. Like, it's okay.
It doesn't matter until that people take time to get to know you.
100%.
It makes good content for interviews.
Exactly.
So all of that, and I was there, and then I was doing university, and then weekends I was with my classes with the kids, and in the afternoons and stuff I would be in retail. So I used to work in like Diesel and Energy was another brand at that time, and Guess. I used to work in like those spaces. First year, second year, third year, whatever.
Okay.
And then...
And you were modeling a bit as well, right?
Yes, so I was modeling from... so from like throughout university.
Got you.
I was with a nice modeling agency. You guys have it here, ICE. I got some cool jobs and some this and some fashion weeks. And it was fun. It's like a nice part of my life.
Yes, yes.
Made really lifelong friends from that space. A lot of my closest friends are from social industries, entertainment, modeling.
Yeah.
I've really met good people and true people.
Yes.
10, 15 years being around,
Yeah.
So I'm very fortunate for those periods of my life.
Yeah.
And then what happened is, and this is one story again, how like customization all developed.
Yes.
I'm always someone who's resourceful. So I'll take what's around me and I'll make what I want or what I can access, So when I was working in retail, so I was working in Diesel in Sandton. And I used to make myself a lot of accessories with leather because leather was easy for me to work with. I learned how to sew. I did sewing in high school still.
Yes.
I did home economics as one of my subjects.
Yes.
I loved cooking and sewing, and it was a vibe. And so I was, again, good with my hands.
Yeah.
I can make things. And so I started making leather accessories. So I used to be part of that marketing agency I told you. I won an iPod. The first iPod, boy. The first iPod I won this iPod because I did some good job or something. And so I made a cover for my iPod.
I remember.
It's like hang around my neck, and it had my iPod, and I put my earphones, and everyone's like, "Oh wait, this is before phone." We didn't have smartphones at that time. It wasn't there yet. No? It's just Nokia's. Nokia was like running the place.
Yeah.
Sure. So I made this cover for this iPod, and I was working in the store, and I had it hang around my neck as like a necklace. And then this other guy walks into a store who's always buying from Diesel.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, what's that thing around your neck?" And I was like, "No, it's leather accessory that I made." He's like, "I own all the Apple stores in South Africa. I want you to make this for the Sandton store." I was like, "Shapa, let's go."
Crazy.
Right? It started like that. So I was like, cool. So I made him a sample. He gave me a little box there in store, and I have that photo. I'm going to give you the photo to superimpose over this part.
Yeah.
So I made it, and then we made an agreement. Shop, you sell this in store. I'll get 50%, you get 50%. And this now started. My brand was called Ali Wali. Ali Wali was a name that my aunt used to call me, like
Sweet,
childhood.
man.
No? Yeah. So I called it Ali Wali, and I was just so bright. It was a flex for me. If I tell you, so there was only one eye store in Sandton at that time.
Yes,
that was it's before iPhone, ne?
Yeah.
So when iPods were hot, before iPhone came out, there was that Sandton store.
So that same one, right? That
same one where it is now. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And if you looked, you'd go there at night while you're walking around the mall, and you can look into store, and my display box is there.
Oh, the one in Sandton City.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
it's a big flex for me.
Yes.
That other one hadn't been built yet.
Oh, yes. That hadn't been built yet. Yeah.
I was like, guys, this is my thing in the store. I was very happy with myself.
Yes.
Anyway.
Amazing.
So then what started happening, then a new iPod came out that I made for that. Then the first iPhone came out. Okay? So I made a cover for that. And then the next iPhone came out, I made a cover for that. Then I started making all these things. Then I started making myself other things. Rings and cuffs, pendants. I made a bracelet for Kerry Hilson when she came to South Africa for her first thing.
Crazy.
And then I made sandals, and I started some making stuff.
Yes.
And then I made some rings for Migos when they came. So
Crazy.
like from python and zebra and whatever. And I was in this space. Like I make stuff. And then I was modeling a bit, and I was doing university, and that was it. That was like that time, and parties and this and that, and getting known in the industry in that type of a space.
Yes.
not yet a dentist.
Yes.
So this is important because people will know me now as a dentist.
Yes,
I'm not a dentist yet.
That time you were that
Just
guy. You
that
were
guy.
that customization. You were, this guy who was like, did the modeling thing. And,
Yes. I was in those spaces.
And I remember always you speaking about the dentistry side, that you're still busy, you're still with the studies, you're still doing
it's a 5-year degree, right?
And then it was almost like there came a time where I think you went away for some service. And then, is that where this sort of leads to?
Correct.
Yeah.
So let's say we've gone through university, graduated, perfect. Now in dentistry, you have to do 1 year of community service.
That's your practical.
Nothing Bahai related.
Okay.
Dentistry degree. It's your practical year that you have to give the government.
Got you.
As 1 year working for the government.
Got you.
In a government facility.
Got you. So just take me through. So it's 3 years.
It's 5 years study.
So 5 years study.
5 years study. 2 years preclinical, no patients.
Got
Theory, practical, theory. And then from 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, it's all patient-based with your theory, with your exams, with your practicals, etc.
Got you.
Graduated 5 years. Once you graduate, you are now a dentist. You get your certificate, and then you must do 1 year of community service. So then you apply, and the government places you somewhere in the country.
Got you.
You may get your choice, you may not get your choice. This is what I'm speaking about with my wife right now.
Yes.
Some people, you can put 3 choices. Some people didn't get any of their 3 choices. The government puts them on a second round and says, well, there's only these places left. You have to pick from those.
Yeah.
And you go there for the year and that you work. So what did I do? I was told by one of the people who was a year above me who did really well in the degree that if you apply to serve in the military in South Africa, they have really good dentistry facilities.
Okay.
Now, remember, I got top in my degree in all of the dentistry subjects.
Yes.
Okay? So I was good and I wanted to practice a high standard of dentistry. Because a lot of our government clinics in South Africa are primary healthcare. So they only do extractions. You'd have a line from 8 in the morning when you open to 5. You're just doing extractions because you do 70 extractions a day. You don't do any fillings. You don't do crown. You don't do a veneer. You don't do an x-ray. You don't do a root canal. You don't do dentures. Just extractions.
Wow.
I didn't want to do that. So I worked super hard to get good marks so that I could apply for the military posts and get one. Because they're not going to take like someone to work in the military who didn't do really well.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so I got a military post and I was placed in Ladysmith in KZN, Mnambiti. This is where my Zulu started, which I'm very grateful for.
Yeah.
So basically, I lived in the army base with the soldiers, with their families. I was the dentist responsible for 1,500 soldiers and their families.
Man.
So basically, I lived that year in Ladysmith. I didn't have a car yet. I didn't really have much money at that time. Remember, as a student, my budget, like at that time as a student, was like 2,200 Rand a month. And that was for my taxi. So I'd take taxi to university. I didn't have a car either.
Yeah.
Normal taxi.
Yeah.
Get to university, and my budget would allow for like a Chelsea bun and some milk. Or like twice a week, I'd get like Chinese food from the Matrix when I could go to the main campus, which was amazing. But I still understand, and this is important for everyone to know, I'm still, even in that space, was very privileged because my parents did cover my university fees.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't have money for other stuff.
Yes.
You know, not much money for other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's why I had all these businesses to make side money. So if I got a modeling job, if I sold a cell phone cover, that was some extra money to do something with.
Yeah.
Not just function at neutral. Anyway, I then jumped from that to now being a dentist, working for the government and getting a salary. So I jumped from my budget of 2,200 or something a month to 32,000.
Wow. Okay.
Right? Like straight out of university. And I was like, damn, bro. Like
10x.
Now I can start saving
and
doing this and doing that. I remember my first salary. What do you think I did when I got my first salary at the end of January? Because I started working on 1st of Jan already. 1st of Jan, after that year, you in your government post. I started working. What do you think I did with my first salary?
Clothing, I'm sure. Where did you go? What did you do?
I went to Chicken Licken and I bought Soulmates Classic Party. That combo of like 4 mini sliders and wings, and I was happy. Because those things, that was my currency at that time.
Yes.
You know?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was the best meal I had. I was like, I'm gonna have it and eat it. And then I started saying, oh, I have some extra money now in February, March. I bought this pair of Supega that I always wanted Supegas in high school.
Yes.
I didn't have much money.
Yeah.
I always wanted this thing in high school. I didn't have much money. So it's like, unless I can make a plan. And now I have, so I was like, I've always wanted that. Now I'm going to get that Supega. And then I want this, I want that. Whatever. So you start understanding saving and then expenditure. And then now you start understanding the responsibility that comes with having money.
Yes.
And what you now use that for to help others.
Yes.
So I had obviously started a lot of community classes in Ladysmith.
Yeah.
With the children of all the soldiers and the youth of all the soldiers and the young adults. So I had 3 classes going on my weekends in that community.
How many patients are you seeing that time? How does are you coming
7,
in?
8 a day.
7, 8 a day. Wow. Okay.
7, 8 a day.
And then the weekends, you're putting that time into the classes.
Community development, yeah.
Got you.
In those communities, there's a lot of alcohol, there's a lot of drugs, there's a lot of like lethargy, people not doing much. From Ladysmith, a small town, that side.
Yeah,
what's going on,
Yeah.
So helping people, helping the kids, helping them realize their potential, helping them develop their capacity. A lot of them are one-parent homes.
Got you.
Trying to help fill in some of the gaps for the kids.
And so you're using some of that money also to
of course.
just,
100%.
get around, get these
getting around. I only had a skateboard in Ladysmith. I had a skateboard everywhere.
Wow,
the whole year. I was a skater, so I didn't have, because then my parents had got a car, my sister's.
Yeah.
But she needed the car because she was now working. And so I just used a skateboard. And then one thing my parents taught me is don't buy anything that you don't have the money to buy straight.
Okay.
So even in terms of buying a car or buying this, I didn't buy a car and then pay it off.
Amazing.
And I've never done that. I've never done that yet in my life up to today. If I can't buy it straight, it might not be the smartest financial decision to buy it straight, but you must have the money to be able to buy it straight.
Yeah.
So if a car costs me 200,000, I can go and buy that and pay it off.
Yes.
If I want to use my 200,000 for a better investment, but don't go and buy that if you don't have that money.
Got you.
So that's how I've learned to do things up to now, and I'm
amazing.
Right?
Amazing. So now you're a year.
So I'm Ladysmith
for a year. That year comes to an end.
So this year is where a few different things started.
Yes.
Because now I don't have to study anymore every night until 1 a.m. Heavy. Dentistry's volume is heavy that you have to study. So now I have free time. I just have work and now free time. It's like, wow, what I want to do. That is the year that Dr. Smile as the brand started.
Got you.
That is the same year that Lex Leo as the brand started.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, oh, I've always wanted to do this. I wanted to do this. So I started teaching myself guitar in that year.
Yeah.
Started learning music. I've always loved hip hop. Always loved rapping.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
So I then got to a point where I was like, oh, I think I can sing a bit. I'm this, I'm that. I love rapping. I think I know how to rap.
Yes.
It's always like, oh, you think you're good. But someone that you trust has to tell you can do it.
Yes.
You want that approval.
Yeah.
Dr. Smile, in terms of the community dentistry, is because I started going on in the week to schools in that community. And I'd play like music, I would dance, I would do like oral hygiene education for the kids. I'd give them free brushes and toothpaste and educate them, help them with their teeth. Because now this is my first year of practically being a dentist.
Yeah.
So now what do you do with this knowledge? You go and help. So I started doing this, and I was not like, hey kids, it's Dr. Rawháni. Like, no, bro, I need a cool name. So I came up with Dr. Smile.
Yeah.
And I started doing that. Dr. Smile wasn't celebrity dentistry when it's as it is. It's just community dentistry, which is still is a bit of everything now. So I started that brand, and as soon as I started that brand, I contacted my dad because my dad knew a trademark lawyer from some other business stuff. And I was like, I want to trademark the name Dr. Smile.
Yeah.
And so I already put in the application in 2011.
Got you.
Got a trademark. By 2013, it was then registered.
Yes.
Right? Because it takes like 2 years.
Yeah.
So Dr. Smile already branding from there.
Wow.
Lex Leo, I started like music. I love music. I want to be an artist. I've always loved that.
Yeah.
And so I made a few little samples, but of singing existing artist songs.
Yeah.
And who did I come to Josie and meet and speak to? Teebs. Right? Because Teebs was running Show Love. Teebs was managing AKA. I trusted Teebs. Teebs was like the person. Right?
Yeah,
if Teebs tells me, no, bro, you whack. You think you can rap. You can't rap, bro. Just relax.
Yeah.
If he said that, I was going to say, okay, sharp. Not one of those things like, I'm going to prove it to him. He's a very good friend, so I trusted him.
Yeah.
So anyway, I played him some demos. I was like, bro, this is what I want to do. I want to be an artist. This is what I can do. This is why I think I'm unique. This is that. Do you think I can do it by listening to these things, knowing the reality? It's like, no, you definitely can. You have a dope sound. You have a dope this. I was like, sharp. Then Lex Leo was now born.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
But I wasn't making my own songs yet. Now I'm trying to learn, okay, how do you get a beat? How do you go to studio? How do you even record this thing? What's an ad lib? I don't know any of these things.
Well, you've just gone through a 6-year journey through the foundations of, dentistry and, music. Like, I think that's a mistake a lot of people, or I don't want to say it a mistake, but it's a step a lot of people take, just jumping in and going like, okay, I've got a good feel. I've got good taste, which is a very important part of music, is having good taste, And you're someone who has good taste in a lot of things, including music. And so it's I see a lot of people as they step into this realm, they're like, got good taste, we're good to go. I made the very same mistake. The first 3 songs I ever made, I released.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's like, I mean, and it's because I'm going like, I understand beats better than most people. Of course, the beats I'm gonna make are incredible, and it was only after doing that and falling on your face a little, because I also had the new right people, and the next thing I'm submitting my music. My first song that I ever made got onto MTV and Trace and Live Amp, but then you fall on your face a little and you realize, hold on, this beatboxing thing or this thing I've been doing for 6-7 years of groundwork through high school, through chipping away every day, and then I mustn't just think I can just step into music and then say, wow, first track hits, So I think that's a beautiful thing with music. I almost took like a year off and just produced for a whole year, 2 years before I met up with Dimples and we started making, those songs in that era.
I remember that.
But I love that.
What a great time.
What a great time. What a great time.
Rest in peace, Dimples. Everyone in this conversation with RIP.
It's crazy. It's crazy, Blessed, very blessed.
So basically, that happened. Lex Leo was born, and actually made a track called Ride that I released in 2019, and it takes you through this whole journey in a track.
Yeah.
So let's go and listen to it.
Yeah.
Pop that there at the bottom. So basically, I came back to Josie now.
Yeah.
After that year's done.
Yes.
They asked me to stay there in the army because they really liked me there at the base. Like, I will pay you more. I was like, no. It's not about the money. I need to go and now grow, Anyway, so I went back to Josie, and then I started working at my first clinic.
Yeah.
It was in Sandton area with like 2 brothers who were dentists who I had been in touch with from 3rd year.
Yes.
I always go, I was like, I want to work there. I like that vibe. I like that spot. So I went to visit them all the time. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Familiarity. I'm like, guys, I got the awards. Like, hey, I should work here. I'm that,
Okay,
I got you covered. So I always know how to, foresight is really important.
Yes.
To prep. You need to prep the foundation. Before you plant a seed, you must prep. So I did a lot of prepping. So I knew where I wanted to go. Anyway, so I started there. And so now what happened is I've got all this history of events and modeling and this and that in terms of the Josie celebrity scene. It's all intimate. The music industry, celeb, modeling, it's all one thing. Okay? So I had friends who were celebs. And obviously now I'm a dentist. So my friends started to come to see me for their teeth. And I wasn't just a dentist. I was actually good. Like, I could actually do the work. 100%. It's not like you just look like you're cool on social media. You just know this person, 100%. But your work's pop. And then you go and mess up things. It's like, no, I'm good at this thing. So yes, I can do dentistry. And my friends. And I knew about marketing. And this and that. So then what started happening? I started developing this brand. This thing that you see in the photos where I'm sitting like this in a chair. I started it like that.
And I remember you...
And you still came to me at that clinic.
Yeah, I remember at that. And I remember bumping into you somewhere and you're like, hey, I was like, what you up to? And you're like, no, I'm now operating out of this place. You should come see me. Like, when's your next checkup? Come see me. And I was just like, cool, let's make it happen. And I remember coming to see you there.
Good.
Was that a conscious, were you thinking now, building brand, the photos must look like this? Or was it just a matter of, hey, let's take a photo at the end of the thing? Or is that something you were consciously already...
I think it came naturally to me to do because it was the beginning of social media. So no Instagram at that time, just Facebook, right?
Yes.
So, but I was using Facebook like that.
Yes. And did this practice like see the value in what you were doing?
Yes,
of like
course.
how easy, like, I mean, I'm sure you pretty quickly built up a client base.
Yeah, I did build up a client base. And, you know, I obviously had a very nice example from those dentists.
Yes.
Right, the two brothers. They have a very nice example of like, so one of the dentists, so they had been doing, so this dentist in the practice, every time he did like something in a newspaper article, right? A newspaper interview on this or that or whatever, he had cut that thing out, he'd frame it, he'd put it on his wall, he'd highlight it.
I love that.
Yes. And I learned from him, obviously. Yes, I was good at marketing. Yes, I knew people. Yes, I could talk. But I didn't have anything in a newspaper yet. So he had that very much in his own way. And I just evolved it to social media. Because now I'm this age. Because he's now double my age, essentially. Right? Yes. So I evolved it and I framed it in a way that's good for us.
Yes.
In our age. So now I started taking the photos at that angle, always there with the piss. Then I started printing those and laminating it.
Yeah.
I still have yours printed and laminated. I still have those. And a lot of them are signed. So then I was like, okay, sharp, I'm going to put these on my wall. And then so from at the beginning, Boyti, Casper, AKA, whatever, I've got those printed, signed. Thank you. And I started creating this thing. And then I started hitting radio interviews and newspaper interviews and magazine things just because of the industry.
And I think just from the consumer side, right? So like as someone who has been to many a dentist, I think I speak for many people when we stepped into that room. You know, it's one thing where it's like, yeah, you know, I've got a homie who's a dentist. Great. I think the experience, I think this really forms a big part of, you know, everything else we've just spoken about, and your care and your, you know, was the first time sitting in a chair. Outside of it, again, being a friend, doing something like you really, I think I speak for everyone, you really took that service level to a different feeling where, you know, you had, I mean, you're the only dentist I've ever been to where you don't even feel the injection, where you're already thinking of 3 steps before and you're checking in and you conversation and, you know, you have this real different layer you get into with people and, you know,
it's very much a people-focused
It really
career.
is. It really is. Even that early. I mean, this time you're just you're the dentist. We're coming to you for filling. We're coming to you for something
cleaning, whitening, like this,
and then beyond that, I'll never forget. You know, on one of my front teeth, I had a filling, and so what that dentist had done, he didn't think about like what it actually looks like. So one of your front teeth. So I remember I had like one big tooth. And I came to him and I was like, hey, man, but this thing, and I'll never forget, Alex, you did the filling and you then, I mean, this is your world and you know, you must maybe explain it better, but what you did was you made it look so symmetrical with the other teeth, that filling, and you changed even the color. And I remember you going, this is my favorite part because, you know, now we need to match color and we need to, this is where the artistry comes in.
I'm getting goosebumps now telling this story.
And I remember you like in your element and like humming there, having a good time, humming a song. And then like, you know, so I'm at the dentist, there's like fire music playing in the back and you just like, and you're so happy and you're doing your thing. And I'll never forget that moment looking in the mirror and I couldn't believe that was a filling. And that was that moment where
That's
I was just
wonderful.
like, I remember every time I came to your practice after that, I was like, what's your plan, bro? Are you starting a thing? I'd love to invest. Like, what's the story? Like, what are you doing? Are you doing a TV show? Like, what's coming next for you? And I remember coming home and my mother seeing my front tooth that I always hated so much because the filling was big and I looked like I was like, bro, I've never had a big tooth. Imagine going to the dentist, coming home, you have a big tooth. And then for the first time that was gone, my mother saw it and she was just like, Oh my word.
Oh, lovely. That's a great story.
And, you know, and so I think, and I speak for everyone, like visiting you, we definitely felt like, okay, you're taking this thing to a different experience to whatever we've ever experienced.
Lovely.
You know?
That's such a lovely story. Thanks.
And so, bro, when do you now, you know, how long are you at this practice for now?
5 years.
5 years.
Yes.
So you're there for 5 years,
So,
and then you start building up. I mean, every who's who is at this point already coming to you. And
yeah, I got to a point at that practice. I was now, so I think with a career in dentistry, what's really important is to understand that you're ever evolving and ever learning. You're getting better at different procedures. You're doing new procedures. You are understanding how much you don't know about procedures. You are seeing where the gaps are in the quality of our work, where the world standard is versus us. You know, you're constantly evolving. Every day I'm like that now, you know? And so I got to a point where I started realizing that there's an avenue of dentistry that I can be really good at. And I need to start going in that direction. And what then started happening is this was around similar timing. If I say 2020, 10, 20, yeah. There for 5 years.
So you mean some people would, let's say, go, I want to become a specialist at this part of dentistry.
Correct.
So
like I might
root canals.
I might love to do braces.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to go orthodontic side.
Gotcha.
I might love to just be good at I'm great at root canals. I want to do that.
Is this strategically for dentists? Like, does that mean more money as a dentist, or is that just?
No, okay, fine. As a specialist, you can charge more.
Okay, gotcha.
But you might not just want to be a general dentist. Gotcha. You might want to limit your practice. Same as a medical doctor. Gotcha. It's like, okay, I just want to focus on ears. Gotcha. I just want to focus on eyes. I just want to focus on this. Now within dentistry, within this space, you can be a specialist just for the gums and bone. You can be a specialist for cosmetics, a specialist for root canals, a specialist for whatever, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I started knowing where I was good or what I enjoyed. And what I enjoyed was more the cosmetic side of dentistry.
Gotcha.
Right? Even though I could do everything,
yes,
I was enjoying the cosmetic side the most. And the cosmetic side for me gives the biggest change to a person's life and confidence in a short time. So yes, if you need a root canal, I'm going to get you out of pain, but I can do the root canal phenomenally. You're not going to see the difference that all my effort makes.
Got you.
You're not going to see how long the root is and you're not going to see it. I can show you the x-ray and you're like, thanks, doc. Am I going to have any more pain? Or, you know, it's like that. But within a cosmetic dentistry space, your change can last for very, very many years and completely transform the individual, their confidence, their outlook, their family life, so many things. It's almost like I see cosmetic dentistry as a key to unlock like the light of patients who've been closed off because some dentist went and made them a big tooth for stupidly, you know?
100%, yeah.
So I loved that element of cosmetic dentistry.
Yeah.
So then what happened was that the clinic that I was at, at that time, I felt there was like a glass ceiling.
Got you.
They weren't advancing with the technology.
Got you.
And then there was this other practice where they were known from all like the dental reps who sell all the latest technology to word on the street between dentists, that this clinic always has the latest technology, the latest technology.
Okay.
And I was like, I need to be at that clinic. I wasn't interested in yet starting my own clinic because I didn't want to be a dentist 5 days a week.
Got you.
I wanted to be a dentist 3 days a week.
On that point, at this time, you've already customized your first grill in this practice? Or is
this practice.
Coming?
No.
Okay, this is so in this
practice.
5 years.
Okay, yeah,
Tom,
let's speak about grills.
Through the first grill you do.
Okay, so the first grill, everyone knows Scoop.
Yeah.
So Scoop came to me. He's like, yo, doc, can you make grills? And I was like, I'm sure I could figure it out. They don't teach us in university how to make grills. But I know the principles. And I can figure it out. Because I make lots of things in dentistry.
Yeah.
I've just never made grills. But I've made a gum guard. And I've made a retainer. And I've made a this. It's just a fancy retainer made in a different material.
Yeah.
So let me go figure it out. So I took his mold. No, I didn't take his mold yet, actually. So I said, cool, I'm going to figure it out. And this was now 2013 was like the first grill.
Yes.
So I made 2 for myself.
Yes.
First. Tested them out, understand how they work, understand how they fit, what's comfortable, what's not. And then, so the first one I made was from chrome cobalt. It's a metal that we use to make people's dentures.
Wow.
Okay? And that's a cheap, safe in the mouth, light metal.
Got you.
So I made one with chrome, and I was like, oh, wait, this is cool. It looks dope. So I hit up Scoop. I'm like, I'm ready for you. So then we did that, and then I started gold plating it because I wasn't working with gold and diamonds yet.
Yes.
Because, well, no one at that time could even afford these types of things.
Yes,
anyway,
yes,
it wasn't like our celebs were that rich. Presenting a TV show and on the come up, It wasn't like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So then I chrome cobalt, then I gold plated it. Now we got a gold one. Oh, wait, this looks dope. And then the first one to really like do grills and then make it popular was AKA.
Okay.
So then he came within that same year, within those same few months. I also wanted a grill. So then I made his first grill for him. And then we all know about AK and grills. And he started running that thing. Yeah. No one had grills yet. Started running that thing. Then we did a new design and a new design and a new design and a different thing. And then Koolkat was the first one to get a real solid gold grill.
Wow.
First one.
Wow.
Right? I'm shouting out here. You must know.
Yeah, 100%.
He was the first one to put that money down. And he was hot at that time, remember?
Yeah.
And always doing things first. Very trendsetter.
Massively.
Yeah?
So.
Even now. Everything he does now is just different. So anyway, so he did that first. And then the first one to go in, the first diamond grill was Anatii.
Mm-hmm.
So I did Anatii's grill. That was the first diamond one. And at that time, if I think back, I was doing those things cheap, bro. I wasn't making profit.
Yes.
I was just getting them done.
What are we talking like?
A grill that I did for Anatii at that time, although, okay, let's take inflation and whatever.
Yes.
I remember selling that first diamond grill to him for 25,000.
That's crazy.
Okay? Jeez. Right now, if I did that same grill now, I'd probably charge about 100... I'd probably charge about 110, 120 for that same grill that I did at like 24.
Got you.
Obviously, things were very different at that time. This is now over 10 years ago. Think of gold price, think of diamond price.
Yeah.
But still, I wasn't putting out markup. I was just like, I want to make a diamond grill. Anybody made a diamond grill? Figure that out. I must find the setter, find the gold, figure out figure out how to set them neatly and this and that. And anyway, so I was doing all of that like foundation work. And then the first one to start getting like creative with grills was Nasty.
Wow.
Okay. Then I started doing dope grills for Nasty. But Nasty joined me in the new practice.
Gotcha.
Because he wasn't yet Nasty at that time. He was still,
Yeah.
So when I went to the new practice, which now I'm in my 10th year in Rosebank, where I am now.
Before we go there, are you also making customized jewelry this 5 years while you're at this, or is it just the 1 or 2 grills here and there? This is
only
coming.
Grills. I'm not a jeweler yet.
Okay,
I'm just a dentist doing grills.
Okay, so now we get to the new practice, which
now
is
we get to the new practice, which I'm at. Now the owner of that practice knew about me since I was a student. Remember, like when I said I was in 4th year, 5th year, I was doing all of this work on patients.
Yes.
And I heard this story later, which is a dope story. But basically, that dentist, like all dentists have a lab that they work with to help make the ceramics and this and that. I would be sending work that I had to do in university to a lab that this dentist was also using.
Okay.
And then I think every so often he'd speak to that lab and be like, yo, like, I'm looking for new people to come. Which students are good? From the work that we send.
Wow.
Right? But I only heard this later. But basically, they had already told him, this student's really good. So since that time, since after I graduated, every so often he had been in touch with me. How are you? You should look at coming to work here, this or that. But I didn't want to work full time, and he wanted someone 5 days a week. And I was not about that life. I already knew the value of not doing anything full time.
Wow.
Some dentists, some jewelers, some this, some this, some this, some this.
Are you still lecturing this time? So this 5 years.
So this is now, I am lecturing, but not just lecturing. In 2014,
yes,
while I was still at the Sandton practice, I started doing my master's.
Okay.
Oh,
wow.
I started doing my master's in the direction of cosmetic dentistry. So it's master's
2 years, or what is that?
So 2 years.
Okay.
Prosthodontics. Okay. Which is the dentistry word for the area of cosmetic dentistry, I would say. So I started my master's. I started lecturing / master's at the same time.
Wow.
And I didn't want to, they had invited me to come lecture. So the person who was running the course of what I graduated top in had asked me to come and help.
Got you.
So I was like, sharp, I'm good at that stuff. I'll come and help teach it. And so I started master's and lecturing. Because I was like, if I'm going to be lecturing, I must go up in academics. I don't want a lecturer who doesn't push themselves academically.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do that. Anyway, so I did my master's and I started lecturing. And then in the master's, my mom passed away in the middle of my master's. It's just such a hectic...
Yeah, it was a tough time.
While I was studying and exams, it was hectic.
Yeah.
But we grow.
Yeah.
So that happened in that time. It was all before going to the new place.
Gotcha.
So masters, lecturing, realizing that I need to advance in the technology space. Using the latest technology in dentistry is really important to me. Or at least knowing what is the latest technology and deciding what is best of both worlds.
And such an important principle that it's like, be conscious of your environment and where the environment is going and how quickly it's moving compared to where you're moving. I think there's a great life lesson there as well. And so you make that jump to the new practice. How does the old practice take it well? Are they a bit upset?
Of course, they were upset.
Yes.
Because I wasn't leaving them because they were closing down. I was leaving them because I felt that they weren't with the times enough.
Yes.
That's quite a difficult thing.
Yes.
And I was great for marketing and I was great for this and great for that. But I did it as amicably as possible.
Yeah. You were there 3 days a week that time, or almost 4 days a week?
3 days a week.
Okay.
3 days a week.
Got you.
Yeah, I remember 3 days a week. But
yeah.
And then I was at WITS lecturing 2 days a week. Okay. That's why.
Got you. And you're still doing your masters and
Yes.
So you transition at this point now. You step into the new practice. How was that transition? Was it like pretty seamless, or was it did it take a little while? You find your feet and
no, it was seamless because I started spending a bit of time at that practice before, seeing the technology, understanding this, what's happening, how does it work here.
Yeah, that one's intimidating, guys. It's like walking into a hotel. This one, it's like, yo.
But it was much bigger, much different.
Yeah. This is in Rosebank, eh? This is the
Rosebank. Correct. So, and even at this clinic, every year we're advancing the technology and things are developing more. And now what's starting to happen, so I at this point had never even done a makeover or a partial makeover, not yet,
okay.
Right?
Great.
Still not.
Yes.
Even I graduated my master's and I still hadn't done a makeover.
Wow.
Why? Because I knew how much you need to know to do a makeover.
Wow.
And I don't want to be a cowboy to just go and do stuff. Just now, I can say, I graduated top in my class in prosthodontics, by the way.
Yeah.
And I did a master's in it, and I'm still not doing that work. Because I know how much there is to know. And the risks associated, and this, and this, and this, and this. So I only did my first makeover. I'd done individual ceramics, of course.
Yes.
But I'd done my first makeover only after like 2 years.
Wow.
At that clinic.
Wow.
Watching, learning, seeing what I did like, seeing what I didn't like.
Wow.
Understanding the flow of things. And so my first makeover was 8 teeth.
Wow.
And what a great result. Amazing. And my first makeover, I didn't even charge.
Crazy.
Because there's always a part of you is like, well, what happens if I don't get it perfect? So even my imperfect, for me, will still be great for 80% of people.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the standard, but I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. And was this a friend? Was it
This was a Project Smile. Project Smile.
Okay, so have you launched Project Smile, or is this just something you do and you haven't really figured what it is?
I hadn't branded it.
Okay, amazing.
I had been doing Project Smile since I was in final year university.
Yes.
Because I started so I had finished all my work I needed for university.
Yes.
All my quota, my things, I was already done. That's the subject that I got top in because I did so much extra work. So now my supervisors are like, oh, you've done everything you need to. Okay, try something different. So we learned, for example, in dentistry, when you're setting up like new teeth for a patient, they must be always in this shape, in this line, perfectly straight. Yes. I was like, guys, what happens if I like make one skew like this and one a different color because I'm making a set of teeth for an 85-year-old. Yeah. And ain't nobody 85-year-old got perfect teeth.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, try it.
Amazing.
So it's like, oh, Artie, this was fun. Yeah. I was doing all these cool extra procedures.
Yes.
Because I had time. So actually now doing things for free for people like that, develop
And what is Project Smile? Let's just give it a quick...
Project Smile is very high quality cosmetic dentistry for free for people who truly deserve it and need it most.
Amazing. That's beautiful.
I focus Project Smile and I do makeovers with the latest technology, with the latest materials. Super expensive, if you want to put it within context, for free. I try to focus Project Smile specifically for patients who are victims of domestic violence, specifically females, rape victims, trauma victims. For me, somebody who gets something done to them that they had no say in or no choice, that's where I try to focus Project Smile and its resources on. Not someone who's like, I got into a bar fight because I was drunk, and then I broke my tooth. I'll be like, you can go to the government clinic. It's fine. Yeah. If someone says I was here walking and then someone came past and then they beat me and then they raped me and they left me in the thing and I don't have any teeth, 100%. It's a very different reality. Like some of my victims, they were abused within a taxi. They were dragged under the taxi. They were beaten. It's crazy some of the things that have happened. And it's heartbreaking to see what's actually happening, but I'm very grateful that I'm in a place where I can fix people's smiles, give them back their happiness and their joy and their confidence.
It's amazing how much your smile holds, right? Of you as a human and
100%.
as a person.
Like I said earlier, you unlock this person's light again.
Wow.
So if I can fix a few teeth or give a new smile or change this or change that, and I'm very grateful that I can do it at a clinic like this. The clinic understands that there is work that I do for free. Obviously, in that place, there's equipment needed, there's the room needed, there's an assistant needed, there's electricity needed.
Yes.
And my clinic understands that. And they're very happy to allow me that.
Wow.
Obviously, all the work that I do and the materials and stuff, I cover that, right? And it's done as a gift to the patient.
Amazing.
Yeah, and it is really to understand that it is off my patients, my regular patients and my paying patients that enable me to do those procedures for others. So where does the money come from?
Amazing.
It comes from the money I work.
Yeah.
And then I use it. I don't take donations for Project Smile.
Yeah.
I haven't got to that point of, hi, people want to donate so that there can be $1 million and I can do this. I might get to that point one day. Yeah. But at the moment, I'm using my own money.
Amazing. And that speaks also volumes for them, to see that vision, could very well be like, but, Lex, we need to, and so that's a beautiful thing.
They understand that.
They understand.
And I treat many. I mean, there's some children who I've been treating for like 6 years who are born with a cleft palate.
Yeah.
Right? Again, the child didn't have a say in that.
Yeah.
So I want to help them.
Amazing.
So managing their teeth. Or people who've been in traumatic car accidents.
Yeah.
Or whatever be the case, There's some people who I know are just doing phenomenal sacrifices, making phenomenal sacrifices in their communities.
Yeah.
And they'd never even ask for help, but I know they need help.
Yeah.
So then I offer them. I was like, I'd like to fix this for you. Would you like that? So I can pick out, and it pains me that I cannot do this for every single Project Smile applicant.
Yeah.
I have thousands.
What if you could though? What if you start like
So that is the vision. I shall tell you about that.
Amazing.
I shall tell you about that.
Amazing. So then How long are you at this practice now?
It is now going to be my 10th year.
10th year. Wow, that's insane, man. Just ballpark, right? If someone's listening and going like, what does a makeover cost? Because now we're talking big leagues. We went from...
Okay, yes. So a smile makeover, which is what you see on my page when I do those full transformations, those are 20,000 Rand per tooth.
Wow.
Right? They're 20,000 Rand per tooth. There's a lot of time, technology, expertise, background work, precision involved in these procedures. And yes,
so on average, you're looking at anywhere.
So if someone it's either a 200,000 Rand procedure or a 500,000 Rand procedure. It's like that, because either someone is doing their whole mouth, top and bottom, all their teeth, complete transformation, or they're doing just the top 10, right? Sometimes people only need 2 teeth changed, 6 teeth changed. Yeah. But a smile makeover is either all your top teeth or top and bottom. So it's a lot of money.
Wow.
And we can say, I mean, I give context. And so, fine, I'm charging one of the highest rates in South Africa at about 20,000 Rand a tooth. And if you go to, let's say, one of the people charging the highest rates in Dubai or the States, they're probably at about 70,000 Rand a tooth.
Wow, okay.
Right? Context.
Amazing.
I know how good I am, and I also know where I need to grow.
Yeah.
This is also always very important. You can't, I think, be in any medical, and when I say medical, I say patient care profession.
Yes.
And be like, I'm not bad at that.
Yeah.
Like,
no, bro, like
you can't do that.
There's levels. Like, I don't know if you feel it as well, but do you ever look at some of the American rappers' teeth and go, guys, this is too white. What's going on here? Like, it just looks fake.
Yes. Like, so there's a lot of people who seem to like that type of an aesthetic.
Okay.
Either because they're not educated better, or that's what's hot.
Okay.
Or the dentist can't do anything different to that.
Yes.
So we're seeing a lot of an aesthetic of super white, super square, straight teeth. Okay? Doesn't look natural.
No, it doesn't look
Some people
natural.
don't want natural.
Yeah.
I can use the similar color, but make it still look natural. And so it suits the face better.
Gotcha.
Whenever we do smile designs, we design it according to the face, not just the mouth.
Yeah.
You can do generic one-size-fits-all teeth. They're doing a lot of that in Turkey at the moment now.
Really?
You go for 2 days and you come back and you got generic teeth, right?
Wow.
I can do that also. It's not like I don't know how to do that. I just don't do it. And so if a patient comes and says, I want teeth like that, I don't do it for them.
Wow.
I say, I'm happy to do this for you. You will like this a lot more, and you will have better longevity with it.
Yeah.
And you won't regret it. And this is what I suggest. And that suggestion, by the way, I always show the patient first. I don't say, this is my suggestion, now go home and decide.
Yeah.
I say, let me design it for you. Let me show you. I'll show you digitally. I don't even have to touch your real teeth. I'm going to show you what I'd like to do for your teeth.
Yeah.
And then I can even 3D print my design and clip it over your existing teeth to give you an idea of what it could look like. And then you tell me if you still want those, they call them AirPod teeth. Okay? You tell me if you want those AirPod teeth or not. Right? Exactly.
I love that.
And then patients always don't want those anymore. Wow. Always. Wow. But you have to help educate. So your role as a clinician is also to educate on what is best for the patient.
I mean, it's quite a journey. I mean, geez, you know, I obviously came to you, bro, for my teeth, but geez, it was quite a journey. And outside of, you know, just like having to open your mouth for that long.
George is a really good patient.
But just like
he's a really good patient. I was very grateful for you.
The reality of how much work goes in it from your side, like from your side, and the amount of planning, the amount of design, the amount of, I mean, you get to see what your teeth can look like before you like even deep into the commitment and the way the whole thing's set up, bro. It's like, it's a lot of work.
What's still crazy for me is that I can sit here and look at your smile, and I've been looking at it since the beginning of the podcast, and I love the color we chose and the shape we chose and how natural it looks and how nicely you smile with it.
Yes,
I'm watching you smile. You're smiling really nicely.
Yes.
Like it's an uninhibited smile.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something you want to give patients. You don't want them to have, hey, I can smile, but I don't smile too much because I don't like that tooth.
Yes.
Like you don't have that. And that's an amazing thing. And then you say, okay, it's remarkable to me that we are charged with the responsibility to create something synthetic, by the way, that functions at this level every day. First of all, looks in a certain way, but functions with hot, with cold, with tea, with coffee, with biting, with eating, with this, with that. For so many years, healthy. It's crazy that we have that type of a responsibility. Let's say you do a nose job. The skill of that surgeon is that they have to take what you have and remove and add and stitch, and then it must work. But there's no synthetic element to that.
Yes.
It's just your natural thing. And so, you don't have a synthetic nose that looks good and then must work, which is a lot harder than to keep a natural thing. Of course, I don't know anything about nose jobs in terms of plastic surgery. But what I'm trying to say is that I haven't had to edit your natural tooth. I've had to make you a new thing that functions like that. And that's crazy to me that we can do that. And it looks so good and works so well.
100%.
It's crazy.
And you obviously know, but I had this 2 or 3 of my front teeth had fillings, and they were like almost half a tooth. And then you would do the filling so beautifully, and then over time they would change color. And then, I think to be able to get that done, and also not to compromise some other teeth that are fine, and the way you found a way to just almost clip.
So we call it minimally invasive dentistry. That I just change what I need to change to give us what we need and not more than that. So for everyone listening, if a tooth is damaged and you want to fix it, you want to make it look nice and work better, you only want to remove the parts of the natural tooth that are damaged and replace what you need to. You're not going to change the whole natural tooth and cut it down just to replace a little bit on the outside. And so what's important is preservation and respect of your natural teeth, and just do just what we need to give us our result. But enough for it to last you many, many years. Also, this is also the other thing. You could be less invasive, but it might last you only a year. And then what? Then you want to replace something every year instead of you're good for the next 20 years if you brush and floss properly. Which is a phenomenal thing to get. I don't know what gives you a 20-year guarantee, 10-year guarantee.
100%.
What? Your car doesn't, your washing machine doesn't, these microphones don't. What? What do you get?
No, and just another side story, I brought my mom to come and see you, and, you also did just a temporary, you were like, listen, I'm going to just temporarily put this together for you. It should last you 4 years. My mother said to me the other day, she's like, it's over 12 years that he did that tooth and it's still fine, So now when Alex says 20 years, best know I'm coming back in 50, my brother.
We can't as cosmetic dentists say this will last you forever. It's not fair to actually, you can't ever say that.
Can't ever say that,
What is fair to say to patients? I know that the work that I do can go over 10 years. I know that. If you look after it, because I'm now practicing in my 12th year. So I know some of the work I did 10 years ago and how it is.
Got you.
I know from other dentists who are in their 60s that they said they did this thing 20 years ago and it's still there, 30 years ago and it's still there.
Really?
So it's okay. So that has, and we have research on things.
So
I can't say my work lasts longer than 12 years because I haven't yet seen that. I have to wait till I've been practicing for longer than 12 years. So when I see you after 10 years, we're going to say, cool, now we know this last 10 years happily. Are you maintaining? 100%. Are you maintaining? Are you maintaining? I'm at an 8-year thing for some of my...
Got you.
Some of my makeover work.
And they still... Amazing.
I saw someone the other day, they were 6 years, 7 years down the line.
Amazing.
Still good. Of course I have developed. Of course my aesthetic has developed. Of course I look at my work from 7 years ago and be like, damn, bro, I could have done this looking better. I did the best I could at that time.
Yes.
And every day I get better. Every month I get better. So
see, I had to wait 8 years, Nyana. I said, no, let me just make sure. And bro, tell me something from Dr. Smile's mouth. Like, what are the things that we need to do to look after our teeth, and how important is your mouth health and teeth?
Okay, so let's first understand like the vital connection between your mouth and the rest of your body.
Yeah.
Everything that goes into your body, other than what's absorbed in your skin, is really going through your mouth. Okay? It's going through your mouth, you're eating it, you're drinking it, it's connected to the rest of your body.
Yeah.
So this is something really important to understand, because anything that's going on here is constantly swallowed.
Yes.
So if you have a lot of bacteria in your mouth, and this is excess bacteria, not the normal, natural, healthy bacteria, which we all have and lives on our skin and lives in our mouth, this is normal.
Yeah.
But bad bacteria that grows in response to negligence and not cleaning and rotten teeth and broken issues and this and that gets swallowed all the time. And it gets absorbed into your bloodstream. You know, if you say something as simple as, oh, I have bleeding gums. Yeah? How many people say I got bleeding gums? Everyone. Right? That's what you hear all the time online and this and that. So what happens? You got bleeding gums because there's bacteria that causes the swelling of your gums.
Got you.
When you cause trauma to it, that bacteria mixes with the blood, goes into your bloodstream. Now it's in your body. Goes and sits on your heart valves, goes into your lungs, goes into your organs, sits in your vessels. This is serious. It's not actually a not serious thing.
Yeah.
If I say to you, George, I'm going to cut your arm here and I'm going to put some bacteria there into the cut, you're going to be happy?
Punching you all day.
Punching me all day, right? You're a lot more conscious of that.
Yeah,
but if I say, oh, you got a cut in your mouth and all this bacteria is going in, what you going to do?
Yeah.
I was bleeding gums. It's fine. Like, I'm going to just focus on something else. I'm not going to brush that area because I don't want to see the blood.
Yeah.
So firstly, understand how important this connection is. Your oral microbiome, or call it the family of bacteria that live in your mouth, very much connected to your gut microbiome, which deals with a lot of how we absorb things, inflammatory reactions, what diseases we have, pressure on our heart, pressure on our lungs, digestion, I don't know, everything. Okay? So, mouth, very important. Proper cleaning only really requires you to do two things. Brush correctly, floss correctly. Brushing correctly means brushing away excess food after you've finished eating. Okay, this is what brushing correctly means. Because when you're brushing away food and the bacteria that attaches to that food. If you don't brush after your food, what happens is that food chills there. The bacteria take it, they eat it, and as a result of their metabolic processes, they release acid and toxins. That acid makes cavities. Those toxins damage your biological tissues. Okay? So you don't want to eat something and leave it chilling in your mouth. You don't want to leave a food source for bacteria there. So, you guys have been seeing me, maybe not noticed. I had my smoothie, which is great. It's got vitamins, it's got minerals, lovely. But it's heavy in sugar. Because this is what? Raspberry and mango. Those both have a lot of fruit sugars. Fructose. And it's acidic. Okay? So you guys don't just eat a smoothie and let it chill in your mouth. Because all you're going to do is leave an acidic, sugary environment, which the bacteria love. They're going to take it, chill, and start making many holes everywhere. That's what they do. And grow. So I take my water and I keep rinsing. And then I rinse enough to get rid of the acids and the sugars. And then my saliva, which is my mouth's or my body's natural mouthwash, will do its thing. It will buffer the rest of the acids. It will help control the level of bacteria because it has antibodies. It has phosphates, bicarbonates. These are minerals which help remineralize the surface enamel. Okay? So this is your mouthwash.
So what you're saying is after every meal, anything that you know, I think firstly, if you're eating breakfast, make sure you are brushing teeth after breakfast.
I would ideally like patients to brush after breakfast. Ideally.
But if you're out and you're on the road and you do your thing, you eat something, just a quick rinse.
Rinse with water, chew sugar-free gum. Rinse with water, chew sugar-free gum.
Why sugar-free gum?
So, I mean, as sugar-free gum as opposed to like, let's say, Chappies.
Okay.
Which are sugar-full gum.
Got you.
Right? Because bacteria love the sugar. So sugar-free gums have a substitute sweetener called xylitol.
Yes.
So xylitol doesn't react with bacteria in that same way as normal sugars do.
Gotcha.
They don't like xylitol much.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just help get stuff out of your
So
teeth
imagine you have this squidgy, rubbery thing which is going up and picking up food particles.
Wow.
Right? It picks up, takes away food, and it stimulates your saliva.
Wow.
So you're getting more mouthwash and picking up the food particles.
Wow.
And then, so choose sugar-free gum and then throw it away, not on the street, please, in the dustbin, right?
Yeah.
And you're not just chewing it forever, because you don't want to just chew things forever, because when you're chewing, your stomach also thinks that there's more food coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe after a meal.
So after a meal, rinse, chew, throw that away, and you've done your job. Okay?
On it, doc.
If you have lots of food still stuck, then you're going to have to floss, bro. Keep a floss with you. You can't just let that chill there in your mouth the whole time until tonight. It's going to cause damage.
And then at night before bed, you floss.
Floss first. Always floss first. So I put that FF. Remember like the Fendi sign.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
You must floss first.
Okay, got you.
Research shows that flossing first is still way better than brushing first, then flossing.
Got you.
You want to go in between, gently floss so you don't hurt your gums. Remove all the things from in between your teeth. Because at least 25% of the surfaces of your teeth are interproximal, in between.
Got you.
So floss first, loosen everything, then brush, then sleep.
And mouthwash necessary?
No mouthwash. So the only time you're going to be using mouthwash is if you have a problem and the dentist has told you use this for this period of time to help the body heal, as in help the mouth heal. So if you have a cut, if you have an extraction, if you're healing after a procedure, use your mouthwash over the next 2-3 days to help you heal. Then your saliva is supposed to be doing the rest of the job.
Got you.
Mouthwash itself, especially a lot of the common mouthwashes that are out there that contain alcohol, actually kill the good bacteria in your mouth also.
Got you.
And so when you keep doing that, you're killing good bacteria, bad bacteria can grow more. Then you're swallowing that bad bacteria and it is changing the equilibrium in your digestive tract.
Got you.
So you're not trying to keep killing everything in here. You might use something for a period to help healing. But if you use, like some people use mouthwash every day. Like maybe brush, floss, mouthwash.
Yeah.
You just keep killing. Your poor system doesn't have a chance to rest and find equilibrium. And that's going to mess up with a lot of other things. Digestion, absorption, inflammation, bloating, a lot of things like that. So no, mouthwash is not something that you use every day and you don't need to.
Got you.
Your saliva is your mouthwash.
Okay.
Just drink enough water and eat balanced meals and have enough vitamins and minerals, also from natural sources.
And start collecting money and save so you can come for your makeover.
So you can come for a makeover.
Yeah.
In general, patients need to brush after breakfast, brush after dinner, rinse throughout the day, and go to see a dentist or an oral hygienist once in 6 months to get a professional cleaning, because the buildup that happens over 6 months you can't remove with a toothbrush.
Okay, and it's normal, right? I mean, this is something I spoke to you about. I was like, I'm seeing a bit of buildup.
Correct. Very normal to have some buildup, especially after 6 months, especially on the last teeth and especially here on the inside, because gravity pulls everything there. Even me, I brush really well. I floss really well. Over a period, not 6 months maybe, but maybe over a period of a year, I start getting a little bit of buildup. And so I just clean it myself at the practice. You have to. It happens.
Amazing.
Right?
Got you.
So that's okay. That's why you should go. And you also want to go to a dentist or oral hygienist every 6 months. So that should a problem be starting, you can catch it when it's super small. Because when it's super small, you can fix it super quick, super easy, super cheap. But if you're going to wait till it's big, it becomes super difficult, super expensive, and complicated. So you don't want to do that.
Love that. Alex, what is on the table, brother?
My babies. So we've obviously spoken about me liking to make things.
Yeah.
And me being about helping others.
Yeah.
And branding and marketing and service and the profession.
Yeah.
I've always liked the idea of making my own things.
Yeah.
And I got to a point naturally within dentistry space
Yeah.
to realize that I need my own oral care range.
Yeah.
Because Dr. Smile brand deserves that.
Yeah.
And the people of Mzansi deserve that.
That's something you've spoken about for some time, so it's pretty surreal to see
Correct.
box
I
set.
wanted to make my own toothbrush since 2000. I think I drew my first sample in like 9-10 years ago.
Yeah.
No, 20. Yeah, 9-10 years ago. Right? That's when my first sample, but it wasn't an electric brush, it was a manual brush. Okay? And I wanted to make brushes and do this and do that. I'd be conceptualizing and I was trying to figure out, how do you actually do this?
Yeah.
I've been speaking to friends who I know have products out, nothing oral care related, but products. I'm like, guys, how do you get into this store and how do you make this thing and where do you start?
One thing to make it, and manufacturing and distribution. And
yes, what about manufacturing and how do I get it out and how do I this and how do I that? And so about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, my friend who I'd been speaking to for like 8 years, right? And he's in multiple businesses. He's very business minded, NBAs, and he's very smart. And he said to me, "You've been speaking to me about doing a toothbrush for so long. We've been approached by this company to offer them toothbrushes. Now is the time for us to do this together." And I was like, now is the time.
Amazing.
And so I basically went into about a year or so of R&D. Samples and trying and designing and bristles and modes and frequencies and colors and materials and aesthetic and the foundation of the business. And this is my first offering of the oral care range. This is the Dr. Smile Sonic version 1.
Amazing.
It is a quad mode electric toothbrush. It is very good. I've been using it for 6 months before I released it. I'm very, very happy with its functionality. I'm very happy with its modes. I'm very happy with its reach. I'm very happy with its bristle design. It is a soft bristled electric toothbrush. The 4 modes are Smile, Smile Plus, Tongue, and Be Gentle. And these modes allow me to control for different patients and at large the public different problems in the mouth and different areas that need different things. I've got a little booklet inside which explains all the modes. I've obviously designed it in a way that I can say, okay, I want you to use Be Gentle for the next 4 weeks, or I want you to use Be Gentle only on the outside, but Smile Plus on the inside, but Smile on the top surfaces.
Amazing.
This is how you're not going to damage your teeth. This is how you'll get a better clean for longer. The cool thing about this whole brand, the Dr. Smile Oral Care brand, and I do want everyone to know this, is that we have designed the brand in a way that for every toothbrush sold, every brush sold, whether it's the electric brush sold or my manual ones, which will be coming out in about a month, every brush sold, I give 1 brush away for free to somebody in need.
Wow.
So this is really exciting because, and obviously I tell a little bit of a story on the back. Also, this is my picture. I hope you guys can see this because
Wow. I want to have a look.
like on the back of like a cereal box, like an action figure.
Wow, that's very cool, man.
But basically, there's this brand and you can see that it says Kuku. Kuku.
Yeah.
Cape Townians will like Kuku. Kuku is from the word Kukuka, which is a Xhosa word for brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
Okay? So my manual brushes, which will be coming out, which are made from a biodegradable plastic.
Wow.
And super soft bristles. The Kuku brushes, which will be in store in discounts around the country, where this is already there.
Amazing.
Yeah, really, I'm grateful for that. For every brush sold, you buy 1, someone's getting 1 for free. Whenever I do my community outreaches and I do school education programs and I do township education programs, the brushes are going to be given out because of you guys. Because of you guys, because you've bought one, you know someone's getting one. And that's my promise. And I'm the one doing it. I'm going to be the one giving it out.
Wow.
So there's no lying and don't worry, I'm going to give one out and I just stash
100%.
the cash. That's not going to happen,
it's not
right?
gonna happen.
So I'm really grateful for that. And Dis-Chem has bought exclusivity on the Dr. Smile brand.
Wow.
So around the country and thus southern continent,
That's incredible.
you can get this brand in all Dis-Chems. And I've made sure, by the way, to make this level of technology super affordable.
Yeah.
So this is a quad mode electric toothbrush that has like a charge that lasts you 3 weeks and has super designed bristles that do exactly what they need to. And it looks great. And it gives away a brush for free. There's all of these things, and it's USB charging, so you can use it anywhere in the world. And I'm doing this all for only 1,400 Rand.
That's incredible.
My competition for this type of a brush is 2,500 to 3,000. So it's expensive for a brush. If someone can only afford 50 Rand, it's expensive to buy a 1,400 Rand toothbrush. But there are some toothbrushes out there selling for 8,000.
Yeah.
Right? So I know where I've pitched this. And it is a really good brush. So I want people to know that we have our own South African designed oral care range. My manual brushes are coming out. My floss is coming out. My toothpaste is coming out. Like, be patient with me. It's coming. Everything will come. But like, this is what has come out now. And I'm really proud of having this at this level already out. And yeah, I'm just grateful that it's got to this point.
Incredible. Congrats, bro, to see you like take this path and to see a physical product packaging. I'm going to go get mine 100%, bro. I'm going to head to Dis-Chem.
If you go to Dis-Chem at the moment now, there's a special that we're selling 2 for like 2,300. It's
Amazing.
Still a Valentine's month couples.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So please go.
You
Please
have
take
my
a photo
word.
for
I'm
me.
going to go 100%. I'll
And,
take a photo for you. Incredible. Congrats, bro.
If you
I'm
want,
really...
you can open it. Can open one.
Please, man. Yeah, that would be
So
amazing.
you can take a look. So this one is called Midnight. I don't like calling them black and white. It's boring.
Yeah.
So the black one is called Midnight and the white one is called Pearl.
I love that.
Here you go. You can open it. Take a look.
Yo, it's giving iPhone Pro Max, my brother.
Isn't it?
Sure. It's beautiful, bro.
So this is the protective head. Inside here is this little brochure. And in this brochure, I've really explained everything. Firstly, about the brush and its usage and its care and the modes and how to best look after your teeth. I've also spoken about the Cuckoo Promise and like the whole thing of the company is called Dr. Smile Labs, right? And Dr. Smile Labs and what we plan to do and how the priority is on education.
Yes.
And health. Education, health. Education, health.
I love that.
You know? I mean, just to know, like, I have halved my profit margin so that I can give out brushes for free. I'm not doubling my profit margin.
Amazing.
I'm halving my profit margin, you know?
Amazing.
So the charges, this is the head.
Yes.
So the head is now sealed in here.
Yes.
And then
I love that,
this
bro.
is just the
This is
protection.
beautiful.
And you can see the
looks
modes.
beautifully
You can already-
made and looks, it doesn't feel like amazing. Oh,
Very cool.
It
Yeah,
feels
it's
like-
exciting that this is here and this is like my baby,
amazing.
you know?
Did you at any point get an offer from one of the big sort of dental?
Yes, I did.
And you turned it down?
Yes, I did. So I had been working with quite a few of our dentistry brands,
Yeah.
the international brands, obviously. And I'm very grateful that I've worked with them.
Yeah.
I don't have any issues with any of them. They've trusted me with my brand
Yeah.
and my reputation and my knowledge to educate people. And so I've been doing a lot of work with these brands over the years. It's in that process that I realized I need to create my own. Because if I looked at certain thing on this brush that I got or this brush that I was sampling or this, I was like, nah, you see, this thing, I don't like it so much. Or this is too aggressive or this is too harsh or this doesn't work how I could get it better. Or this is expensive or this is this or this is that. So now how can I make one for us that is all of these things that I trust and I use on my own teeth? Because I do use it on my own teeth. Not like I'm like selling it and I don't use it. And is more affordable. and does something better for the community. And so obviously you learn from the greats.
Yeah.
The two best and most famous electric toothbrush brands are Philips and Oral-B. We know that.
Yeah.
Right? Oral-B started their... So Philips released their first electric toothbrush in 1992. Oral-B in 1989.
Wow.
But their company started in like the 70s already.
Wow.
Right? So I'm now competing, if you can say, which is flippin' dope, actually. You go into this game is really cool. There'll be Oral-B, Philips, Dr. Smile. That's really dope.
Incredible, bro.
I don't care, even if you can put me at the bottom level of the shelf. Bro, I'm there.
Yeah.
And now I'm learning. These are like my big brothers.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a competition for me. I don't want to make it a competition. I'm learning from them and respect to all of these brands, you know? But to say that I'm there and I'm there with amazing product in terms of functionality and a great price, and I can only get better because my company is now less than 1 year old.
Yeah.
I didn't drop it in 1992.
Yeah.
Right? Which is already now 24, 28. This is already 32 years ago.
And this is the version 1.
This is version 1.
This is where you start, and that's
it's a great place to start.
Great place to start.
And I grow, and I will grow. And I'm sure, I mean, I always as a product designer and now call it entrepreneur, I'm always like, hey, now, what's going to be the first return? What's like, is something going to go wrong with one of my things? Like, how's it going to last? Someone's going to say, no, I don't like it. Like, no one said it yet.
Yes.
But, you know, you're going to need those things. Maybe when
100%.
you buy it, you're like, Lex, this thing, I hope you don't.
Yeah.
But if you, like, I ask for feedback. I was speaking to, like, some of my closest friends have gone to buy it. Like, I was speaking to Nasty and Sammy the other day. Nasty, when it came out, he went and bought for him and Sammy, right? And this is also what I love about my friends. My close people, no one has asked me for free.
Yeah.
No one. Casper went and bought. He's like, I bought for me and my partner. Well done. Like all my people are buying it. I'm like, people are like, give me a brush for free. I'm like, first of all, relax. Go buy it off the shelf.
100%.
At the moment, I've invested too much in this. I'm not going to give out stuff for free in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, I give my wife and my mother-in-law and my sister, you know, like that. Okay, it's a different story, you know?
Yeah.
But even my cousins who live in London, it's not available in London. They messaged and said, no, we want to buy one. Can we transfer you money? And please bring. I was like, of course, thank you so much, you know?
Yeah. And that's what it's about. And, you know, I think we need to normalize that. And it's the same for me with events, like and free tickets, man. I'm just like...
Leave me alone. I want a free ticket. Go buy the ticket.
You know?
Often when my friends do things,
Yeah.
I'll already go and buy it.
Yeah.
So I've bought the ticket. But, you know, so sometimes there's, let's say it's your event. Yeah. Okay, so if it's your event, I'm going to buy the ticket, but I'm still going to call you and say, George, listen, please going to get into that like thing that I can't buy, but I've already bought. So what I then I buy, and then I go on my social media and say, guys, I'm doing a giveaway on these 2 tickets.
100%.
I create some advertising for your event, and I've bought the tickets and this. I'll still say,
100%.
like, don't worry, I'll give you free replacement heads, you know? But of course you need to support, of course.
My brother, that's us. Anything else from you?
How long was that?
So I think we've been at it.
Oh, we did an hour and a half already. Easy hour and 45.
Easy. I think we can carry on, bro. We must do this again, bro. We must do it again.
Thank you.
Part 2. Anything else from your side, bro? Anything else you think maybe we didn't touch on? And anything else you want to leave people with? You know?
Anything else I want to leave people with? Everyone at home, you have a very unique set of characteristics and talents, very unique to you, that you've been created with. That has a unique way of unlocking other people's talents and happiness and joy. So I think you sit there and reflect and say, okay, I've been created to help others. I'm good at A, B, C, D, E. And start from today to try aligning those talents and your abilities with how you can help others. And as soon as you do that, and the faster we do that, we'll see a big chain reaction of everyone reaching their potential a lot faster. And the world becoming better and happier and more united and functioning. So I think if we align ourselves with that way of thinking, then that's it. And don't forget to brush. And don't forget to floss.
Look, from my side, I just want to say, like, you know, it's been such a incredible position to be in, to basically have a front row seat at your journey and to see how you've stacked certain skills and how they have all served such an important purpose, and just seeing how you're able to manage so many different things and make it look seamless. That's why people think you're taking something, my brother. The way you're able to balance these things, and you know, you are just like a true.
You see my hair's going,
and you're like a true, you know, example of. I think that's also a reason why you attract so many people into your life. Is, you know, you make us want to be better. You really set a good example. You inspire us to want to do more, and you're a true legend, bro. I'm excited to see what your next 10 years looks like, bro. I think you have so much to offer. I know this is going to be a success, whether it's version 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going to go crazy, and, you know, it will be the biggest. And I think your skills, you know, I know you have patients from all over the world flying in already, and where you're taking your craft and the growth. And I'm just, excited to see where you take it, my brother.
I appreciate you.
Much love, bro. Lovely. That's us, bro.
Yeah. What a great podcast.